here we go. Iowa ranked number 24 in the entire country. They're going to be taking on the number 7 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. Big conference implications, especially for Penn State, because in the Big Ten East for Penn State, there really is no margin for error where you do have a team like Ohio State. You do have a team like Michigan, who has traditionally, at least in the past few years, have been one of the best teams in college football. So Penn State has no room for error. They have the third best odds to win the Big Ten this year. Iowa is number 4. Iowa is, of course, the favorite as of right now to get out of the Big Ten West as of right this second. So what is at stake in particular in this game? So the Hawkeyes, Iowa is 3-0 right now. They're trying to get to 4-0 for the third time since 2019. And this is a place where head coach Kirk Ferentz has won before. His team's last couple of games at Beaver Stadium, Iowa has been able to win. Granted, one of them was in the COVID season back in 2020 when the stadium was empty. Iowa actually had a pulse on offense that day. They won 41-21. This atmosphere is going to be a lot different. This atmosphere is going to be absolutely wild. Ninth game, first and foremost, is going to be kicking off at 7:30 on CBS, and it's going to be the whiteout game as well. So what are we going to watch for? What are we going to watch for in this particular game? So I think the big key here is Drew Allar taking on that vaunted Iowa defense. I don't need to tell you how good Iowa's defense is. Iowa has one of the best defenses in the entire country. They have not allowed more than 14 points in the entire season so far. What has always held back Iowa is the inconsistencies on offense. Now, we saw Iowa actually have a pulse on offense last week, scoring 41 on Western Michigan. Do I think they score 41 on Penn State? No, I don't think anyone is expecting that at all. But what does Iowa defensive coordinator likes to do? Phil Parker, he's the defensive coordinator for Iowa. He likes to take away the big plays and is trying to create it to where the opposing offense has to be patient. Has to absolutely be patient. Can Drew Allar do that? Drew Allar hasn't thrown an interception yet, but they haven't played a team like Iowa so far this year. They have not played a defense like Iowa. West Virginia certainly don't got that. Delaware certainly don't got that. Illinois might have been a similar type of defense last year, but it's not last year now, is it? So can they remain patient and accept the fact that they're going to have 8, 9, 10 play drives in order to score on a consistent basis? This is not going to be one of those 2-play 90-yard drive types of games. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of explosive plays necessarily in this game. And that's really important because that's going to play into what Iowa wants to do. Iowa wants to make this an ugly game. They want to pull you into the mud pile and make it as dirty as possible. They really want to make you earn it. Now, that being said, I don't think Penn State has to score that many points to score because Penn State's got a pretty good defense in their own right. I think Penn State's defense is also pretty good on its own too. They've only allowed 267 yards the entire season so far. That's actually less than what Iowa has been able to allow over the course of the season. And you can argue so far that Penn State has played a similar caliber of opponents than what Iowa has. Not saying that Penn State's defense is better than Iowa's defense, but I also think that, okay, Penn State's defense can also play at a pretty high level. Can Cade McNamara show up too? That's the other question that I have in this game as well, because Cade McNamara, there's a reason why I had to transfer, right? There's a reason why I had to transfer. He was okay at Michigan. He wasn't great. Eventually lost his job to the J.J. McCarthy, 5-star quarterback. He's starting again for Iowa It hasn't been pretty. 53%, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's going to need to bring his A game if Iowa has a shot to win this game. Now, does that happen? And this jumps right into, with what I think is going to happen in this game, I do think it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game. The over-under, well, I don't think it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be under 40, but I'd certainly see this game being in the 40s. And I think Penn State is going to pull away in the second half. I think Drew Allar does get flustered a little bit in the first half. It's going to be one of those games where it's going to be pretty close. 7-3 is going to be your score. Then they go into the locker room. They figure things out in the second half. Penn State pulls away in that second half in particular. And I think Penn State wins. Right now, the line is at 14.5 for Vegas, 16.5 for the Any Given Saturday model. I don't know if they cover, but I think they get close to covering this score. And I do think that Penn State ultimately wins this game.